Hi, it's Alaska Granny. If you've been reading the news, you may be concerned that another wave of panic buying is about to begin. We have so much in the news that's bad news about the Omicron variant and the vaccine mandates. We really don't know what the future holds. We are definitely facing some uncertain times. But does that mean that panic buying needs to begin again? We've been living through these crazy times for nearly 2 years. We already know what can happen, what's continuing to happen, and that the future looks grim. So most of us who are preppers have taken this opportunity to continue to build our stockpile. There's no reason to panic buy over the day's news. If you have been building up your food supply, then you need to ask yourself, if they close the schools, if they close businesses down, if I can't go to restaurants, if you have to show proof of vaccine to enter places, these things we know could be coming down the pike at any time. But what you need to ask yourself, would those new implementations, new restrictions, new guidelines present an emergency to myself and my family? Have I taken the time to provide enough food that if something like that happens, I don't need to go to the restaurant. I don't need to show proof of vaccine. I don't need to worry about if I can't find a mask. I have the things I need already in my home that I can take care of myself and the people that I love. Go through all the categories and make sure that you actually have the things that you need. Do you have plenty of food that you could stay home for weeks at a time? That it doesn't matter if there's a disruption, you have the amount of food that you need. Then you don't need to panic buy. There are always going to be emergencies. Make sure that you have stored as much water as you have room for, and that you have ways to purify water if something should happen to contaminate the water coming into your house. Do you have a way to purify it? Do you have basic first aid supplies? You don't want to have to run out to the drugstore because you need Band-Aids, gauze, or some ointments. You have had the opportunity to get those things. Check over your hygiene supplies. Do you have everything from top to bottom, from shampoo to toothbrushes to body wash to foot powder? Do you have all of the items that you would need? Do you have supplies such as diapers and wipes if you have babies? Do you have feminine hygiene products? Do you have those items that you would count on having and you have a backup in your prepper pantry and your stockpile? Then it's not an emergency if you can't go to the store for a few weeks. Next, make sure that you have the cleaning supplies you need. Do you have basic supplies like dish soap, dishwasher detergent, multi-purpose cleaners, any of the cleaners and supplies that you would use to keep your area clean and sanitized? Make sure that you have a supply of those items. Everything from your dishes to your laundry, those are day-to-day chores that we have to do, no matter if it's an emergency or not. And having those supplies on hand prevents an emergency when you don't then have to rush out because you used your last roll of toilet paper, or you can't do a load of laundry because you don't have detergent. Having those on hand helps smooth your life no matter what the day brings, so you don't create an emergency by needing those items. You also want to be prepared in case you need to leave your home. If something happens, say there's a fire or a flood or a tornado or a hurricane, the things that can disrupt our life that we aren't safe to stay in our home, make sure you have a bug out bag and a plan of where you could go. Because we like to say, oh, it's a lockdown, we have to stay home. But sometimes that's not possible. You just need to look at some of these weather happenings to see how tragic it is when someone's home is damaged or destroyed. And you want to be able to have a plan of what to do next so that you can cope with those kind of emergencies. It's far easier to rebuild and keep going if you have a basic 72-hour kit, 3-day supply, and you have a copy of your documents in a safe place so that you can start working on getting your life back together. No one knows when those types of events can happen to you or your family, and trust me, suddenly your life is changed. But you can rebuild and get going again because you have the things that you know, the love in your heart, and the ability to make the best of any situation. Then you can keep going. You can start rebuilding and get going again. Other tips to help your life run smoothly are keep your gas tank full, have cash on hand, and have some paper maps in case you actually need to go somewhere. Then you'll be able to find your way. Will panic buying begin again? Well, it won't for those of us who have taken the opportunity to prepare. So go through all of the list of all of the categories, look over your supplies, see if you've rated anything, and maybe you need to get some more things in certain categories. Make a list and shop for those while you still have the opportunity. Then you continue to use your things, rotate them, replace them, and then you're not going to have an emergency just on having the basic necessities to keep your life going from day to day. And that's what's going to make us have the very best days that we can. If you enjoyed my video, I hope you'll share it with someone else you think might like it, and please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.